Hello everyone, and welcome to SPED 7136 Language Development. This is a summer course and it moves fast, so get ready to jump in. My name is Dr. Stephanie Devine, and I am happy to be working with you this semester. A little bit about me, although you'll read it in the welcome section. This is my first year at Georgia Southern. I just finished my first fall and spring semesters as an assistant professor in special education. So I'm excited and happy to be here, and I'm learning a lot about Georgia. I'm actually previously from Las Vegas, Nevada. My teaching background is from Las Vegas, which is a very large urban school district. So I had a wide variety of experiences there, but my primary teaching experience and research and instructional experience and background is with students with more significant disabilities. So students with intellectual disabilities, students with autism, and language development is a huge component of that because frequently those individuals are either super delayed in their language development, or there are some definite missteps there as far as what aligns with typical language development. So this is an area that's close to my heart, but it's also an area that's pretty dense. So if you've started to look at your book, you will probably see that the content is dense. So be ready to read thoroughly, maybe listen to it and read it again, highlight, take notes. Look at all the extra pieces and parts that are put, the videos and etc. in your text, because it is a lot of sometimes complicated material and a lot of vocabulary that may be unfamiliar. But you as special educators will want to have a solid knowledge of language development because you'll frequently have families who ask you about that with their young children and that process. It's important that you're aware of what is typical development, what you might see with atypical language development, especially for our students with disabilities, because it factors into all those areas. So I wanted to give you a quick overview of the course in a more informal format, if that is a way that you engage with content better than reading through the entire folio. I also recommend that you read through everything, but I wanted to explain it verbally because some people do better with that. Anyway, first of all, a couple of things. The course, make sure you're looking at, I'm going to show you Getaway, which is going to be backwards, I'm sure, but look at your course schedule in folio. Look at your course syllabus, read through both of those carefully. Due dates and a list of things that need to be turned in are explicitly listed in your course schedule. So make sure you're looking at those. If you happen to see any discrepancies or something that's confusing, please let me know, because I have just updated all of it, but I may have missed something somewhere along the way. So I apologize if that happens. Just let me know and I can fix it in folio. Also, basically what you'll see in this class is there are 12 modules, but we really are in an 8-week course. So some weeks you'll have one module to do, which I tried to do that at the very beginning to sort of ease you in, and then toward the end again as we're easing into the final project. And the week of July 4th, you only have one module because of the holiday. In between there, though, you'll have to do 2 modules a week. So pay attention to that and pay attention to those due dates. The modules align with your chapters in the text. So module 1 means you're reading and talking about chapter 1. Module 2 is about chapter 2, and so on. The only difference there is module 12 is not a chapter in the text. It's actually around your final project, which is a case study. That what we want to see there is a synthesis of everything you've learned this semester. You're going to apply it, synthesize that information, make some recommendations about a particular student. So I guess I can start with talking about that. That case study is a big portion of this course. It's about 19% of your overall grade. So it's something you definitely want to spend time on and look at. And that's something you can be looking at ahead of time. I did put a sample version in there, but really you have some freedom in how this is written. The biggest things are it should be APA. It should be an APA format, especially your references and citations. And those of you who had me last semester in seminar, I expect to see good APA from all of you because we definitely spent a lot of time on that. But there are some resources within Folio for you to look at to support your APA, so please don't hesitate to look at those. I'm expecting you to look at those as opposed to me teaching you APA. That is a big part of your grade in this, so make sure you're looking at how to do particularly in-text citations and references. So for your case study, you can do it, you go about it a couple of ways, and there's more information in the assignment instructions, but you can find and work with a student or a young person that you know, but you have to have access to evaluations that they've had done, particularly speech type evaluations. So if you don't have access to a student like that, then you don't want to use somebody like that for the case study. If you don't have access to a student like that, there are several case studies that will give you that kind of information within Module 12 that you can use. You read through all the information and then you develop your final case study using that as your source of information. So you'll have a couple ways there, but be thinking about that as we progress through. In the meantime, within each of the remaining modules, I tried to set up kind of a consistent system so that you are comfortable with what's required each week. So for each module, you will have a quiz. It's a 5-question quiz. You will only have one chance to go through that quiz, but I did give you a pretty extended time. But this really is designed for you to make sure you've really read through the chapter and that you understand some of those key components. So each chapter will have a quiz. So plus there's a course introduction quiz that you need to get done right away. That's your attendance verification. The remaining 11 quizzes are about the chapters of your book. For each week, so not necessarily each chapter, but each week you will have some type of discussion. Sometimes that's, and I usually call it an assignment discussion because you actually have to put something together, post it, and then you'll review a couple of other peers. I did a lot of peer review within this course because I think you will learn a lot from each other's perspectives of what is included in the chapter. And I think that's going to be very valuable for you, especially if I really try to design a more universally designed course. So if you are not getting as much out of reading the text, looking at the online module information, then perhaps you'll get some more out of your peers' perspectives, because we know that peer-to-peer teaching is a very effective practice. So it's kind of I'm trying to wrap around here. And also, one of those big pieces that we'll be doing is I'm going to have you summarize or address a specific discussion topic I'm going to have you use a combination of PowerPoint and narration. So we'll discuss that a little further. I'll give you a brief overview of that right now. You're going to either use PowerPoint and record yourself narrating the PowerPoint slides that you're going to then post into discussion, or we'll use a system called Novio, which there is going to be more information on in Module 1. So I'm not going to go into that now. The other piece is you will have, well, like I said, a quiz for each chapter, at least one discussion post per week, so not necessarily per chapter, but per week. Each chapter will either have a discussion post or some type of assignment. So some weeks you'll have, if it's 2 modules, you'll have an assignment and a discussion, and then 2 quizzes. So be ready for that. Quizzes I'm making consistently due on Fridays to make sure that you have gone through the text early enough to then create the assignments / discussions you submit on Saturday. And then you do have to respond to 2 peers' work for each discussion. So on Sunday, those will be due. And so I try to set it up consistently for each week, so because I know that's easier for everybody to remember. But that being said, it kind of happens really fast, and I don't want you necessarily spend all weekend, every weekend on your assignment. So be thinking about those things ahead of time. And obviously, the earlier you post your discussions, the earlier you can respond to peers, because there'll be something up there. But look ahead, plan out your summer, because this moves fast. Summer sessions go fast. Online courses are very independent, self-driven courses, so you're going to have to be organized and get in there and dig into the materials. And you're going to want to ask me questions early on. I try to spend time with my family on weekends, so make sure you're looking at what is required for the week during the week, because you're going to have a much quicker response time from me, email-wise, during the week than you will on the weekends. And I'm just going to be upfront about that, because I have to create work-life balance too. So I didn't want to ramble on quite so long, but that's the general overview. Make sure you look through everything. Post any questions that you think would be good for the entire group in our questions for the professor discussion section. And then everyone can see what questions are being asked, and perhaps your questions will be answered. If you have specific, more personal questions, please email me through the Folio email account, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you need to schedule some type of phone conversation or video chat, I'm happy to do that. Just I don't have specific office hours, because summer's a little weird. So rather than that, we can just schedule a time. So just reach out and let me know what works for you, and we will coordinate a time where we can chat. All right. Thanks, everybody. And I look forward to working with and getting to know all of you.